Guaranteed
money.
A lot of money.
paying Brock Purdy $53 million per year. If you look at where that ranks kind of average annual value, I believe that puts him at 7th average annual value, $53 million per year. That's where that slots him at. Shady McCoy, I know you've been very opinionated about Brock Purdy and this contract. $53 million a year, 181 guaranteed, 265 in total. Did the Niners overpay for Brock?
I think so. I think so. You know, maybe a week ago or 2 weeks ago, they asked, who was that? Puka.
Yeah.
And we all know Puka's a good guy. Like, come on, man. Yeah. Guys hit him hard, he helps them up. Like, he's a good guy. And they asked him, he said, you know what? I like Brock Purdy. I like what he's done for the Niners, and I play him twice a year, so I see him a lot. He said, but if he makes 50s plus a year, that ain't a good deal. And I agree with him, man. I just think when you talk about, like, I just go back to myself, right, and playing this game at a high level. You know, I remember with my agent, we were trying to get a contract, right? And this is probably my year 2. He said, hey, man, you know, solid rookie season, right? We need to work on that, man, get better, and develop. I remember going to my room, I said, okay, cool. So me to get this paper, I gotta get an All-Pro, I gotta get a Pro Bowl, I gotta be one of the elite players in the league. Yeah. And when you look at all them boxes, Purdy ain't hitting them up. All the other players in the NFL, the top wide receivers, top running backs, top linemen, unless you go to the market, right? The market as in free agency.
Yeah.
But you don't do that. Every other player that get that type of money, other than a quarterback, has to hit them boxes.
Yeah.
And I look at the Niners. I said, if you talk about leverage, you pay this guy $265 million. There's not a team in the league will offer him that. And I'm gonna be honest. Because you want a quarterback's gonna lead you to a championship. And Brock Purdy's been to playoffs, he's been to conference game and Super Bowl.
Yes, sir.
But he didn't get it done yet. And I think when I pay players, it's a couple, either this guy is super elite or the top tier. This guy wins championships. Or I see a lot of talent in this young kid eventually is going to turn into either elite or champion. When I see Brock, I don't know if I see that no more. Because I did see that when the team was loaded. The owner, not my words, the owner said, hey, we love Brock. Brock is phenomenal when you add the combination of him, the team, and the coaches. Now, most of the time you play an elite player, you don't have to say nothing about no coach, nothing about no player. We talk about the player that's getting paid. So if you ask me, did he get overpaid? I think so. I think if, and the last thing before I go on, because I was talking about this earlier in the production meeting. If you take a player like JJ, right? Justin Jefferson.
Yes, sir.
And I say, okay, he's going to make this, that, and the third. Everybody here is going to smile, say he deserved that. Okay? If I'm on a team with a player, right, and I say, okay, you know what, hey, man, we're going to play Brock Purdy like $48 million, maybe 49, give a nice little guarantee, right? You would say, you understand that, right? If it got leaked to the world, you understand that, right? I asked James, I asked Chase, I asked everybody. Now, only one person disagreed with me. That was Chase. but everybody felt like, yo, that's reasonable. But if I said a guy like Justin Jefferson, we're going to pay him a certain amount of money, right? And maybe it's not top 3, or even CeeDee Lamb when he wasn't the number 1. Everybody had a problem with it. Do you know why? Because he actually earned that. He deserves that. I like Brock being paid, but if you're being honest, last year showed me, if I'm gonna pay you this type of money, can you carry my team if the defense is not the same? Because the defense won't be the same. Can you carry my team if the offense ain't the same? This year, the offense, it won't be the same. He showed me he couldn't do that.
Quarterback, weigh in. Did the Niners overpay for Brock?
I can't stop looking at your Rolex. Like, you got Brock Purdy money. So, it's a green face.
Bam!
Fedorum is nice.
Bam!
I'm just saying, sorry. Anyway, I wonder if Brock Purdy going to get him a green face. All right, so I don't think it's an overpay. I think it's the perfect number. I don't think it's too high or too low. I think it fits perfectly based on what he has done and where he is going to go. On the surface, and where it ranks in terms of average per year APY, $53 million for some people in the world, it might seem high. And I'm looking at this list, Shady. Number 11, Jalen Hurts, it looks like a bargain for him right now, to be completely honest with you, based on what he's done. But when you go Brock Purdy, tied for 7th, it's a good deal. I think it's a win-win for Purdy. It's a win-win for the organization. And when you look at the quarterbacks above him, he's done just the same amount of stuff that everyone else on that list has done. Really, Joe Burrow and Jared Goff, because Joe Burrow and Jared Goff have been to a Super Bowl and they've both been to 2 championship games. The exact same thing that Brock Purdy has done. Then for me, it gets a little bit better because when I saw this deal, I thought it was coming in around 53, 54, 55. I think 53 is good. But when you look at his average annual salary as a percentage of the team's salary cap, which this is what GMs and contract negotiators go to. I know there's a whole bunch of numbers. That's great. Just take your eyes all the way down to the blue highlight at the very bottom of the graphic, Brock Purdy. 18.98% of the salary cap. That puts him 14th in terms of the salary compared to the salary cap. And that's sort of what you want. I would rank him higher than the 14th best quarterback in the NFL. So to me, it looks like a bargain, especially the next year when it goes to $300 million. So for me, based on the ranks, based on where he's gotten to, look, he ranks 9th in wins over the last 2 seasons, 3rd in passing yards, 3rd in passer rating, 8th in passing touchdowns. I mean, what more do you want for that? This to me is a fair deal for everyone, because when you see it based on the percentage of the team's salary cap and it's 14th, I'm like, hey, it's a good deal for the 49ers and for Brock.
I agree with you on that. I don't think the Niners overpaid for Brock Purdy, because if we are being objectively factual, Brock Purdy earned every single cent that he has gotten. The reason I suggest that he's earned this: 2 NFC championship games, a Super Bowl appearance, check, check, check. Thrust into the starting lineup as the last overall pick in the draft, check, check, check. Even when every player got injured, Brock Purdy still kept the Niners from being the laughingstock of the National Football League. But I would suggest more importantly, and most importantly, we've seen Brock Purdy on the biggest stage. I have to rewatch the Super Bowl before coming up and having this conversation, because if y'all remember, Super Bowl game, first drive, Brock Purdy has 19 passing yards. They're marching down the field. It was Christian McCaffrey, best player on the offense, who fumbled at the 27-yard line, cost the Niners points. Second drive, Brock Purdy completes a pass. Next thing you know, Trent Williams, false start, 2nd and 12, 2nd and 17. It's all good, Trent Williams, you're a future Hall of Famer. 2nd and 17, Trent Williams, holding, drive, dead. Now we're in the 3rd drive of the game. The best player on offense is fumbled. The second best player on offense, or the best player on offense, in Trent Williams, he's killed the next drive. So turnover by McCaffrey, essentially a turnover by Trent. 3rd drive, Brock Purdy, 38 yards passing, marches down the field. Then the Niners get 3 points. Even in the biggest matchup against the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl, Brock Purdy showed you he's not going to be the reason that this team gets held back. I don't think the Niners overpaid Brock. Not to suggest that Brock is a top 5, top 10 quarterback objectively in all of football. But did he earn it? He absolutely earned it based upon his play and based upon what he did.
Yeah. First off, congratulations, Purdy. Because for all 4 of us up here, hey, we happy you got your bread,
right.
Whatever the takes may be. You know what I mean? Should we root for all of our brothers to get their bread in the National Football League? I think they got it right. I mean, I think overall the whole quarterback money is all toe up. Because when you look at the list that you showed, sure, he probably is better than Tua. He probably is better than Trevor Lawrence. You can put him up there with that. But he definitely ain't better than Lamar Jackson. He definitely ain't better than Jalen Hurts and all those dudes that's under him neither. So the list is just all toe up. But the Niners, that's for the Niners. This is your guy.
Yeah.
This guy really saved a lot of your guys' jobs because you missed on Trey Lance and you hit on your 7th round pick and he came in and he played well. You got the deal done. He's not the highest paid. He's right around where he should be. Like Shady said, if it came around about $48 million, I would have said good deal. $53 million, sure, good deal for Brock Purdy. Obviously, we all know, or he hasn't shown yet. I wouldn't say we don't know, but he hasn't shown yet that he can carry a football team. He hasn't shown that yet. When you're talking about elite money, you carry football teams. He has not shown that, but I think this number is right around where it should be for Brock Purdy. And like Acho said too, man, I think he earned this money. I believe he earned this money. You've been to 2 NFC championships and a Super Bowl, and you've played well. Obviously, those teams were totally different than the team you are on now, so we are going to see what you are made of this year. But congratulations, young fella, $265 million in the Bay Area. It is expensive to live, but not for you anymore, brother.
One thing about it is, like, when you talk about success, you can't help to keep bringing up his team. You just said it.
Yeah.
Right? And I just look at, like, either you win or you're not. Either you're elite or you're not. And I think they should have paid him a certain amount of money because he is a good player and he's done well for his team. But, like, I just hate that we just look at the position and everything's okay whenever they get paid. And I hate that because, like, it should be a time where we correct the market. You think the Jaguars is happy they paid Trevor Lawrence?
I know.
You think the Dolphins is excited that they paid Tua? No. And the reason why they paid him that much money, not because how great they were, not because how good they was. Why?
Market.
The market.
No one else out there that
The
can do it.
market makes me pay that guy. Because guess what? If it's an open market and there's 31 teams that's trying to pay these quarterbacks, they're not going to say, you know what, we're going to pay Trevor Lawrence at the top of the market. You think Tua, you know what, give me that left-hander. We're going to pay him at the top. No. Brock Purdy's another one. And it's like, maybe I'm more upset because when you sit in the locker room, right, and you had these conversations, we had Ken Allen on there. I think Tua got paid, and he was like, it's crazy because these guys getting all this money, and they're not even the best player, not on the team, on the offense. So now, when I'm sitting in my locker and we have a conversation, we're like Kittle's about to get it paid, right? And we have a conversation, it's like, not Kittle, Fred Warner, sorry, because Kittle's got paid. But Fred Warner. And if they even have the audacity to lowball me, I'm going to be in flames. Not just me, my teammates. Now, how the hell you going to pay Brock Purdy that, but you going to play with me? You know what I'm saying? It starts an argument. And the last point before I land is, because I am happy for Brock. Don't get me, I'm happy for him. But just think about this, every other position, I got to be elite player, like top 5. I got to be, it's
All
basically
pro.
all pro. I got to be all these things to get elite money. And you tell me a quarterback who's led by our team, our defense, our coach, and our offense, he's led by them, right? And we make him look better, okay? And he's going to make more money than us, way more, because of the market. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
I hear you,
That's
but I would
tough,
suggest
though, bro.
this, like, I don't know if the argument, if Brock Purdy is supposed to wear the suit that Shady is tailoring. I could suggest if you wanted to make Kyler Murray wear it, fine. Kyler ain't accomplished nothing before he got paid. Cardinals went to a playoff game, got smacked by the Rams. I think I was in the box. If you wanted to suggest Kyler wear that suit, bet. I won't argue with you. But the dilemma for me is, regardless of who carried Brock here, there, and everywhere in between.
Well, that don't matter.
2 championship games, Super Bowl appearance, and here's where I depart from you. Me and Shady, we walk in side by side. He on the phone, I'm texting. Where I ditch him and go left and he stays straight is in the Super Bowl. Because in the Super Bowl, when I'm watching and I'm thinking to myself, Brock, it's your first Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Now, it was McCaffrey's first, and I think it was Trent's first too, but these are Hall of Fame talents. Brock, it's your first Super Bowl. But the first drive, wait, McCaffrey, you fumbled? Because if Brock threw a pick on the first drive, we would have been killing him.
Yeah.
Come on, Brock. Second drive. Come on, Trent. You the first ballot. Wait, Trent, false start? Okay, it happens. This happens. It's jittery. It's your first Super Bowl, Trent. Holding the very next play? So now that's another turnover. If Brock would have come over on the second drive, snap goes over his head.
How do you
and fumble the snap.
Okay, so, but like, you make it sound so easy. You know, but like, how do you get there though? Whose back did they get there on? So, because you can do all that.
Obviously, a lot of McCaffrey.
And another thing is like, if you
and
take
Brock too.
Purdy,
And Purdy too.
And Purdy. Well, what are y'all watching?
That's why I said
not watching the same
That's
film?
why I said I can't ignore him. I said a lot of McCaffrey.
It's a
I said a lot of
good
defense
mix of everything.
it's a good mix of everything.
Yes, absolutely.
If that's the case, right? If that's the case, y'all saying that, then why did it look like that last year?
Bro,
they didn't have the
they didn't
defense and
have
offense.
anybody. They were on third stringers last year. No quarterback could have done well. Put Joe Burrow on that offense. He could not have done well.
They wouldn't have won games.
No.
They wouldn't have won games.
No, that whole team was completely decimated by injury.
So-
stop bringing up people, not just you, but I've heard it from a lot of other. Stop bringing up last year. He did his best with what was given to
let me ask you
him.
this. So other players, when they do well, we just talk about how good they are. When certain guys get paid, he's that good because he's just that good. Mm-hmm. When we bring out Brock Purdy, right, because you said everybody else's words, I'm going to give you the owner's words, right, because he matters the most, correct?
Yeah.
The owner says when he talked about Brock Purdy, how good he was and how much we love him and we want him. He said all that, and then he said with the combination of the coach and the team. Now, I don't know where y'all from. Where I'm from is, okay, well, why is he good?
Yeah.
Because I'm good because I'm good. I don't need this great. I'm just a good player.
That's a great
So
point.
hold on. So when we talk about him as a player, it's like we never get to stop with this Brock.
Yeah.
It's all the other things. And the last point is, and if you're going to be good because of your team, because people love to say about Jalen Hurts, well, he got the best team, and I hear that he does.
Mm-hmm.
You know one thing about Jalen Hurts? He going to win you a Super Bowl.
That's true.
But so hold on real quick. So the team can take you there and all that. Are you gonna bring it home?
Yeah.
Because one dude did, and one dude we talk about he should have.
Yeah,
and them
that's
teams
great.
is going, Chase. They going.
And that's awesome. And that
team's gone.
owner was talking, and it's his team. He can talk. You know what else that owner did? He signed a check yesterday for $181 million, and he just deposited it in the bank and said, how's this?
And you know what?
Brock Purdy's laughing to the bank with that. And it's a leverage play when he was saying that because he knows. He knows how important Brock Purdy is to that organization.
You can find Brock Purdy
anywhere. If they could have found him anywhere, then they would have. He was mystery relevant in the 7th round, and now he's one of the highest paid in a perfect position as a quarterback.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to. So what we can't do though,
he wrote the check.
But I'm saying like
he wrote the check.
Last thing, real quick, James, can we do this? Because like
I don't want to get on.
I don't want to like we acting like money makes you like good like that. Because there's a lot of guys that get paid a lot of money that haven't done anything.
True facts.
So let's not, in all sports, not just football. So can we just, for 1 second for the viewers, let's not let them see like, oh, well, you got this money, that means you are like legit. No, that don't mean that. That means there's a market that people paying, right? Am I lying here?
I'm lying, you know. What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.